What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today, well, looks like we have potentially some really cool data mine information about Broken Spaces 10 and 11, I think it is. Yeah, it must be 10 and 11 because we've already had the other ones, and yeah, definitely 10 and 11. They're in the game files, but we don't have a date of when it's going to happen or anything like that, so TBD, we'll let you guys know when it's out, but what we do have is a lot of information, and these bosses are really, really strong. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about what the issues and the strategies might be for these, because we're going to get some more PvE content. I can't wait. So first and foremost, this is the data mine information that we have. We see stage 10, it looks like, and stage 11 all in the data. Pretty much the same thing. The hero levels have gone up, which doesn't mean that much because first thing I've noticed is the star levels have stayed as level 10, which is important because it seems like they're not getting the new stars, the divine stars that our heroes are getting, which give a divine power gap, which means this is going to be a lot easier for a normal player to get into and defeat, which I'm kind of happy about. If they had divine power gap, that would have been a really difficult thing to do because they'd be dealing more damage. And just to start off, you can see down here, they did a nice little calculation too about how much more HP and attack these heroes are getting. You can see right here, they're just moving the decimal point over 1 for the attack over here, which is just interesting. And then they're getting even more HP. So currently, this is what you guys can see for stage 9, pretty much the equivalent of what their HP is. I don't know exactly what their HP total is, but we can see how much HP percentage they are gaining. They're going way up, 18 times more HP, 10 times more attack. And then when you look at stage 11 compared to stage 9, the current Drake Russell wave, they're getting 100 times their HP level and 30 times their attack, which means attack steal is going to be very important. Now, there are a couple heroes to talk about here. Eos and Gloria on this first stage. Well, if we jump on over in game, we take a look at the heroes. Eos isn't really that big of a deal, I don't think. She has the ability to use her Sacred Sun, which, burns and deals damage. The big thing is it dazzles the target as well. However, she has to get to 12 layers to get that, and she gets them when an ally releases active skills. And there's only 2 enemies, so they're not going to stack these up very often or that much. Their attack, the basic attack, is going to lower precision and attack, not that big, and the big active skill isn't going to do anything too much. So as far as the Eos goes on this wave, I don't think she's a very big deal, but what is a very big deal, I think, is going to be Gloria. Not only does her basic attack target the enemy with the highest crit, which is most likely your Lord of Fear Aspen or your main damage dealer, is going to reduce that target's crit by 20%. So actually running over 100% crit chance isn't the worst idea for Gloria for going up against her. But again, if you're not at 100%, that's not the worst thing in the world, because a lot of times you don't want to have 100% because you want part of your hit to not crit, because that means it gives the 30% bonus from Balanced Strike on all your crits too. It's not supposed to work that way, but it does. So just take note. You want to be in the 60 to 70% crit range. Take this into consideration because this is definitely going to lower your crit chance. And then she does have mark damage, so she might actually be able to kill some of your supports through Unbending Will. Whenever an ally takes damage from basic attacks or active skills, inflicts Magic Bubble. If it damages the target, there's a 25% chance to stun, which is annoying, but granted, there's not a lot of CC on this wave besides this. And then if Gloria's already dead, the damage will trigger, but the stun will not happen. Her active skill, again, lowers the enemy's attack, which is brutal, and more bad Magic Bubble. Now, this is going to be a little bit of pain because, as we talked about over here on this screen here, this duo is going to have about 10 times the attack and 18 times the HP. They will not be able to heal though, so don't worry about that. Nothing in Broken Spaces currently heals. We don't think they will at this point. Now we move on to stage 11. This is the really big one. Vulcan, very big nuker, much like Russell. And then Forces is going to be probably one of the most difficult parts of getting through Broken Spaces stage 11. 100 times the HP of what we're currently doing with Drake and Russell, 30 times the attack of Drake and Russell. That is a huge amount. Now I'm hoping what 10 and 11 bring are additional rewards like Stellar Shards, Crystals of Transcendence. I don't know if they will. Maybe some treasure train tickets or something would be cool too. But let's take a look at these heroes, because these heroes are very important. Much like the EOS, I don't think the Vulcan is going to be too crazy here, because in reality his base attack isn't a huge hitter. And it just gives him more ammo for his active. But I think you're going to be wanting to run energy drain on this wave anyway. He will eventually get some of his ammo, but when he does cap it, it doesn't really do much. It removes one debuff and then grants self fear immunity, which doesn't matter anyway because he's a boss. And then his ultimate ability here is active skill. I don't know if he's going to be able to grant himself a shield. That will be interesting. I figure since they don't get healing, they're going to take away the shielding effect of Vulcan as well. But again, he's just pure damage. But if he's not getting all his stacks of ammo from a bunch of different allies doing stuff or enemies dying, he's not going to get much ammo. That's the big thing. But the big hitter here, the big scary man here is Forces. There's two things that are really scary with him. Actually three, because even his basic attack is going to go for the highest attack enemy and reduce their all damage dealt by 25%. So if he's getting a basic off every single round, that basically means you're going to be at like 50% all damage dealt on your main damage dealer, which probably is going to be Lord of Fear Aspen, but hey, you never know. What's really going to be crazy is the Soul Resonance, because at the end of every round, he deals damage to all enemies equal to 8% of their HP. That's not bad, but getting the one layer of Soul Corruption is, because this lasts 6 rounds, and you will basically be at round 6, you'll have a maximum HP loss of 40%. So you're basically only going to have 60% of max HP throughout the majority of the battle, which might be dangerous for your support. And what really is dangerous is going to be his Imminent Doom active. Deals damage to 4 random enemies with a 100% chance to remove 1 attribute buff, which is kind of annoying, but the big part is adding that Curse of Decay. This is marked damage too, so again, it can trigger and kill you through Unbending Will. Once triggered, triggered when the enemy receives an attribute buff. Once triggered, each layer of Curse of Decay offsets 1 attribute buff and deals 1500% attack damage. That is kind of insane, because there's 3 of them. So if you get 3 buffs, you might actually nuke yourself into oblivion. When he came out, we saw some crazy stuff with Rogan happening. So there's a lot of things where, you know, with Forces, it kind of sounds like you might need a carry on this wave, which is kind of interesting. So that's the information we have. Let me know what you guys think. As soon as we hear more information or we see it on the Tap servers, I will definitely let you guys know. Let me know if you think of some cool strategies down in the comments down below. I'll see you guys next time.